How can I go to Notepad? Very nice. I don't use this window. This is what, 8? 10. I use 7. Next week. Okay. So last time we covered up to view menu, part of the view menu. So I will quickly, you can open up your own files and I will quickly develop something here. And you can also have a revision. Anything. What was that? 5, and that was custom. So I customized the grid spacing. What was this? Is horizontal 12 and 12, 15 and 18, and this was 12. Oh, sorry. This is 12, 18, 15 and 12. Okay, very nice. And instead of 4 stories, I'm just making it 1 story, which is 15 feet high. Yes, there were 5 stories, and right now I'm just doing it 1 story, just to make it my work easier. Don't worry, that's okay. Okay, that's what we get when you have 1 story. Okay, I will go ahead and save it. It is very important that you save your stuff. Where is desktop? Okay, new folder. Tabs. Okay, so that's what we have. We were doing this set building view options, right? And when you open this in an old version, you see this panel, and in the new version you see a panel which has toggle buttons, right? You can switch from one to the other, but more or less the options are same. For example, this one, view by color of object, section, material, all these are related to structural members, beam, column, slabs, all that. Maybe if you want to see all beams in one color and all columns in another color, you can use one of the options. But when we will have those beams and columns, I will show you how this thing works. Most of them will be clear when we have the members already drawn. But for example, view visible in the view, here is grid lines. If you uncheck grid line, you will see that grid line will disappear. But because this was active window, that's why the grid lines are visible here and invisible here. So I can click here and go back to view, set building view options, and check the grid lines again, and you will see grid lines will be back. But I can do one more thing. I can uncheck global axis. When I uncheck global axis, you will see that this global axis will be gone. So grids are visible, but global axes are gone. So you can play with these options, and there is a direct shortcut. Wow. In the toolbar at the top, there is a shortcut. In the toolbar at the top, look for this symbol.
Yes.
That set building view options or set building view limits options, I think, that directly takes you to that panel. So you don't have to go to the view menu. It's a direct shortcut. Okay. We'll see. Do you have a laptop? Right. Okay, it's right here. Set building view options. You click it and you arrive here. Okay, we'll be coming back to this one again when we will draw the members, because there are several things which we can only experience once we have the members, and today we shall draw the members. So in the view, the other options are zoom in, zoom out, and other things same as AutoCAD, like even pan. We won't go into detail. You can explore by yourself. Here is something called measure. You can measure a line. Let me see if this. Look. So you see that it is giving you distance right here, 376. The units are in kip inch. This is 376 inch. So, no, this is distance. This is length.
So how did you do that?
From view and measure. So you want to measure anything, click on that point, the starting point, and then you can measure up to any point you want. Line, click, and this is just like AutoCAD. How about this? 441. Okay. Look, what is now A? Is 90. So it's an angle of the line. Okay. Anyhow, these are simple options. You can change the axis location. First of all, let me switch on the axis. I switched off the axis. The axis is right here. Your building begins from 0, 0. In case for some reason you need to move this axis, you need to bring it somewhere else, you can move it. Right now you may not understand that in what situation we may have to change it, but at least you should know, and when time comes you can change it. For example, I want to change x, or you can put x ordinate, y ordinate, z ordinate. Say I put here 60. What you expect? If I put 60, it's moved by 60 inches, right? Let me put 120 inches. So you see that the axis is shifted. So you can put x, y, and z coordinate, and accordingly you can move it. I will go back and put now minus 0. It's ordinate, it's not distance. Okay, 0 0 is the ordinate. Okay, here is one refresh option. Sometime you do something and it's not visible, you can refresh your view from here, like F5, right? So you can refresh. Anyhow, now I shall go to the draw menu. I will skip this define right now, but I will go to draw, and later on we can come back to define. Okay, in the draw menu, when you drop it, you see select object, reshape object. Select simply means you click on something and it gets selected. You want to delete it, you can press delete and it goes away. Reshape object. Reshape object means a beam you have modeled is small, you want to increase its length, so you pick it and increase its length. The area you have plotted for the slab is small or the shape is different, you just pick it and change its shape. So reshaper, we will experience this. Then the other three options are about drawing from ab initio. Draw point object, draw line object, and draw area object. Line and area are most commonly used because beams and columns are line elements and slabs and walls are area elements. So we shall be using these two options frequently.
What are the point of view?
Point is simply any point. For example, you want to create a hinge support somewhere, or you want to create a reference point, anything which has no dimensions. Okay, it's just a point. I can sketch it for you. Generally these points are drawn for referencing. I will not do this one right now. Draw developed elevation definition. You can do it when you grow little bit in the software. Draw dimension line. In the view menu there was an option of measure, but this is dimension line. In the measure you just see it on the screen, and when you escape it goes away. This option, dimension line, you can actually mark the dimension line and it will remain there, like in AutoCAD dimension lines remains there. Draw reference point. The difference between this point object and reference point is that this point object may be become part of the structure, and this one is just as a reference and as if it doesn't exist in the structure. We won't go into this. This is a little advanced option. It is creating elevation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These options, these grid lines, where you can see the elevation by default in the software. If you want to create another elevation, for example, you say I want to set an elevation like this inclined, standing here and look at the structure, then you can create an elevation. But right now it's not important for us. Okay, you can see in this menu that some of the options have these icons. This means that these can be found in the toolbars, either here or here. Okay. For example, uh, uh, okay, now it's better. Draw point or draw line object. Draw line object. This symbol, this symbol, this symbol, this symbol. You can find it here, right here. Some of them may not be visible, but it means that you can make them visible if you want. The option is available. For example, this point, you may not be able to see the point here, but in case you need it, you can just right click somewhere and display the point option. But for example, draw section cut, which is inactive right now, it has no symbol here. You can never have it on the toolbar. There is no option, so there is no chance. For example, this is reshaper. Reshaper is right here. Select object is right here. Okay. And anywhere you drop the menu, if you have a symbol, then that will be available, or that may be available on your toolbar. Okay. So this is a 3D view, and this is a plan view, single story. I will draw the beams, and beams you can draw either in plan or in elevation, and even in 3D you can draw the beams. And for that I will go to here, use the toolbar, draw line. Okay, beam and columns are lines. So I note the shape of my cursor, and when I click it, you will see that my cursor will change. Okay, so there are two modes. One is select mode, and the second one is draw mode. Okay, right now I am in draw mode. Okay, if I click, the cursor will draw something, but I cannot select anything now. If I want to go back, I will hit this arrow, select object. When I hit this, I will be back in the select mode. Okay, now I can select something and delete it or reshape it. Okay, so I will go to the draw mode, ignore this panel right now, and just do sketching. Click here, left click, and click on the other point. This is a beam. Okay, and you will see your cursor will be attached, and then click here. Just click on the first point and the last point, and you will have lines just on clicks. So we are plotting beams. The sequence of plotting the beams does not matter. Right now it's just a line. I'm just telling you how to draw the lines. Okay, I have drawn the exterior beams or lines for exterior beams, and I now want to draw the interiors. My cursor is still attached to the point. What I do, I right click. No, you don't have to go out, you just press the right click, and you will see your cursor will be detached. Now you can plot the interiors. Okay, now again what you do, right click. When you do a right click, the cursor is detached, but you remain in the draw mode. Okay, you are still in the draw mode. You can do that, you can do that, but as a beginner you are learning it, so just go slow. Okay, this is one way of plotting the line. The other option, look at the other option. This was first option, draw lines. Second option is right here, create line in region or at click. In the first option, we click on the first point and then click on the last point, and then we have a line. In this option, on just one click, we can have a line. Okay, let's experience this one. Look at this. I click on this grid line, and just on one click, I have a line. Line on one click, and you can see the 3D view. The 3D view is automatically updating. Okay, everybody's clear about this? So you see that we can easily plot lines, and yes, save it. Make a habit of saving it frequently. Okay, so we have plotted beams at the floor. Now we can plot columns. Okay, and for columns, I will be plotting it in elevation. I will look at elevation 1 and draw 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, sorry, and then elevation 2, 3, 4, 5. So elevation to elevation, I can plot columns. So I will go here to elevation 1. Okay, and now you can see my 3D view is showing that I am on elevation 1, and you will see the lines coming one by one. Right click, and you see that when I click at the bottom, the software itself install a hinge support. If you do this in SAP, then I think it won't install this hinge support. Why? Because this software is developed for buildings, and it understands that this vertical member is a column. SAP doesn't understand, because it's a general purpose program. Any vertical member is not column for SAP, but for ETABS it is. So it is more smart. Okay, so on elevation 1, all my columns are done. Now I will jump to elevation number 2. Okay, you can also, this is plotting or modeling of columns in elevation. You can also model columns in plan. Okay, go to the plan view, story 1, and right here, look at the columns. Right now, by default, ETABS has installed steel columns. Okay, you can see this I shape. Every column is I shaped. Okay, we can change it later on, but here is an option right here, create column in region or at click, and in the bracket it says plan. Okay, so click on this option, and with the help of this you can just click on the plan and you will see. Notice here what happens. Right here, create column in region or at click. Okay, so click here and then look at the 3D view. You will see a column suddenly appear in 3D view. Right here, right here, right here. So you can draw columns in plan as well as in elevation. You can even draw it in 3D view. Okay, I save it again. Keep saving it. Okay, so your structure has the lines for beams and columns.
First using this command, you want to select something?
No, you don't have to select anything. You just click on the button right here.
Right now it's not an active command. You can't get to
This option is not active. You have to click on any window and this option will be active. These are two windows, 1 and 2. If any window is active, then option has to be active. Okay. Okay, now our beams and columns are done. We can come out of the draw mode if you want. And to come out of draw mode, either you click here on this arrow or you press escape. When you press escape, you will see cursor will change. You are out of the draw mode. You are now in select mode. Okay. Now we can plot slabs. Okay. Again, for slabs, we have right here buttons, draw areas. The first one, draw areas. Right here, draw areas. Click on draw areas and again you will see you will be in select mode. Okay, oh, draw mode. You have to be vigilant. Okay, yes, not rectangular. First I am doing this, which shows a trapezoidal shape. Okay, the one which shows trapezoidal.
Sir, I accidentally closed one window. How to do it?
Okay, you can go to options and go to windows and you can click on any number of windows you want to see from 1 to 4. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we are going to plot slabs. And for that we have to do 4 clicks. For example, this is one bay between 4 columns. This is one bay. Okay, so I will click here, 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 and here. Two, 3, and 4. Okay, now I do what? A right click. Okay, you see some change. You see something gray. Okay, but you can make it visible by using the view options. This option, set building view options. I will click it and right here there is an option, fill object. Fill object. Okay, fill object means the slab which is now transparent, we want to fill it so that we can see it. So I check this option and press OK, and you will see my slab is now filled and it is visible. Okay, no, don't worry about this. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a graphical thing. This is a slab panel. Okay. Similarly, you can plot panels in all the panels or in all the bays. You can also draw slab for all the panels together, but sometime that is difficult to handle. Let me draw one for you by this option, and then I show you other option which you can use to draw a full panel at once. Right click and the slab is here. Look, this was first option, draw areas. There is second option, which is rectangle. Draw rectangular areas. So it means this is only for rectangular areas, but your slab is not always rectangular. It may be of any shape, but for if it is rectangular, then you click this option and you will see that now you can click on the first button and hold it. Press the left click, press and hold, and then drag. Press, hold and drag and reach to the last point like this. Okay, everybody's clear? Press, hold and drag, but this is only useful for rectangular slabs. Okay, now there is another option which is even quicker, and that is the third one, this rectangle with a dot. The third one, rectangle with a dot, which says create areas at click, just one click. Okay, so you choose this option and you can come inside the bay and click anywhere, and just by one click you can have the slabs. But remember, this option can be used only within an enclosed area. Okay, when you have beams on all four sides, only then you can use this option. If you have 3 beams, then you can't use this option. One side is open, no beam. Okay. Yes, you can drag it or use the first option. Look, using the first option or the second option, you can create several panels together. Press, hold and drag. The same second option, or I use the second option, but you can see the difference. These panels are individual panels, but these 5 are together. You could drag over the entire area and make this all as one slab, but generally this is not recommended, because building has different uses in different areas. So you may have to you may have a classroom here and you need to have a different magnitude of live load. You may have a storeroom here, different live load. For example, if this long place is a corridor, so you can have it one panel and apply the loading of corridor. So based on the architectural plan, you can decide which bays you can combine while modeling the slab and which you have to keep separate. Okay, I generally prefer keeping all the bays separate because they are very easy to handle. For example, you want to make some changes here in this panel, you can't do in this panel. You have to remove this entire slab and then you can plot it again. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can do it in parts like this, but while modeling, if you drag the window over the entire base, it won't be separate. Press refresh. Once you have made it all together, there is an option you can split it. For example, sorry, don't worry. it's not as it doesn't affect structurally. Okay, it's just a matter of view. So maybe there is some problem. I'm not sure. Now you see all these panels are separate, and these four are together. Now later on you realize that I have to keep this panel separate and these three may be combined. That's fine. One option is you select it, delete it, and do the same as you did before. Drop this one separate and these three together. But there is an option which we called divide area or split area. Okay, select this one, go to edit, mesh areas. Let me see if this works, if I am not wrong. Let me see. Mesh selected point objects on edges, intersection with visible grids, intersection with selected line object, right here. Okay, mesh quads slash triangles, quadrilaterals, where intersection with selected line object. Did we select any line? No, we selected only an area. So I will cancel it. I want to split this area right here. So I will select the area and the line. This line. Okay. Now I go back, edit, mesh areas, mesh at intersection with selected line objects. Okay. So I press OK, and you will see that this area is now separate and the remaining three are separate. Okay. This is being recorded, so you can get a copy. Okay. Now look at the 3D view of this, and you will see that we have a single story structure with columns, beams and slabs. Okay. Yes, you can change the supports. These may be fixed supports. Okay. When you have concrete foundation, then you can model it as a fixed footing. For that, we'll have to go to assign menu. But I will not go to assign menu. I will try to teach you few options from edit menu and from the define menu. Okay. Let's talk about edit menu. Okay, edit menu. Most of the options are dead. These options will be active when you select something. Okay, for example, look at this line and this line. These two are separate lines. Okay, I select both of them and I say okay, join lines. I'm not going to repeat anything. You select these two lines, and I'm already very slow. If you can't catch my pace, Okay, join lines. You select two lines, and when you hit join lines, you will see that now the two lines are combined. Now they are one line. Okay. You want to split lines. Okay. You can use divide lines. Now you will see it will ask you something about divide lines. For example, you hit divide lines, then it says, okay, divide into two objects. If you say two objects, it means what? It will divide it into two equal objects. Okay. Or it says break at intersection with selected lines and point. Just like area, we selected the area and then we selected the line and we said, okay, break this area at the selected line. Similar is the case here. It says that second option, break this line at some selected line. If you select this line, then it will break this line at this selected line. Or break intersection with visible grid line. That on this length, wherever is grid line, divide this line at the grid location. And grid location is right here. So if I choose this option, it will break this long piece into two pieces. One is this length and one of this length. It will divide it at the visible grid line. Okay. Some grid lines are invisible actually. But if I say divide it into two parts or say three parts, look what happens. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. You can undo. And now it's again one member. So I will go back and divide line into add visible grid line, and you will see again it's into two beams which we already had. Okay, now, and also you can select anything on your left click, and if you press delete, that will be gone. Okay, so deleting something is very easy. Select and delete. Okay, now you may have to delete certain things. Say there is no beam here, and now if there is no beam, then this would be one panel. Then there is no point having this a separate area and this a separate area. So why don't we merge these two areas? For that, we select both of them and go to merge areas right here, and this symbol shows that you can find it somewhere on the top, or you can display it on the top if you want. So when you hit merge areas, these two areas will be merged into one area. Okay, everybody's clear? So right now we are learning different options. Right now you may not understand the location or the point where you will be using it, but these options are very frequently used in real life projects. So you should know these options. Okay, and if you undo, you will get back what you had, and if you redo, you will end up with something which you did at the last. Okay. Okay, now let's learn another thing about creating an opening. What is an opening? Opening is like atrium. Sometimes you go in a building and you see in the center there is an atrium. What is atrium? Atrium is that slab is open, maybe open to sky, or maybe there is dome on the top. I'm not sure. Do we have something like this in IBM? No. If you visit Wabda House,
Yes, sir.
somebody did internship in Wabda House.
Yes, sir.
There's an atrium. I have seen only the pictures. I haven't been there
Sir, I have seen it
live. Very good. So you may have opening in the slab. Okay. We have an option where we can create openings in the slab. The thing is, we need to know what is the location of the opening. For example, as a beginner, we say, okay, right here in the middle third of the slab there is an opening. Middle third mean this area would be divided into 3 parts, and the central square or central rectangle is open, right? So we need to actually first of all define the boundaries of that opening. Only then ETABS will understand where we want to create the opening. So defining the boundaries of opening may take more time than actually creating the opening. Okay. So there are more than one ways of doing it. I will do it the simpler way. This line, what is the length of this line? If you right click on this panel will be open. Select the line and right click, and it will say the length is 180 inches. Change the unit to fit, and it is 15 feet with me. Okay, so it means 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet, 3. Okay, what I will do, I will select this line. Let me see if it allows me to divide lines, 2 lines separately. No, it doesn't. It does, yes. I selected these lines, these 4 lines. Okay, I go to edit and I go to divide. Okay, and I divide it into 3. Let me see if it allows me to do all 4 lines together. If I do this, all the 4 lines will be divided into 3 portions each. Yes, it does. So all my 4 lines are divided into 3 equal segments. Okay, this is the panel I am working. Now I will draw some helping lines. I am trying to locate the boundaries. Just draw lines. When you have divided the lines, now you can capture that point, the point where you have divided it. Okay, so from here to here I will draw a line. Okay, you know, these lines which I am going to draw are only helping lines. These are not structural lines. So it is better, look, if I begin from ab initio, look, when I click on this draw lines, a panel appears, and there is a second option here where you can select what you want to draw, and you will see that right here these are sections which were available in your steel manual, right? W14, 50, 257 or whatever. In here there is an option called none. Just come here and press N. When you press N, it will take you to none line. None line means what? None line means a line which is not a structural line. It is a reference line. Okay, so I will plot the null lines right here, right here and right here. Okay, so you see that I have marked the boundaries of my opening, right? This is middle third of the slab from both the sides. Now I can create an opening. It's very easy. Select the slab, okay, and select all the 4 lines and go to edit, and in edit you go to mesh areas. Select the slab and select the outlines, the boundary lines, or I can say reference lines, and go to edit mesh areas. And in mesh areas, the first option is cookie cut at selected lines. This option is called cookie cut, that you are cutting something from the slab. Okay, the first option, cookie cut. Okay, press OK. When you press OK, it will split your areas, and now you can select the internal part. Just select it and press delete. Find the option of cookie cut. Select the areas, select the lines, and then do the cookie cut, and it will split your areas. Once it splits the areas, you can simply delete the area which you want to delete. Okay, you want to join, you can join, and you can delete these helping lines. Okay, if you want to join them together back, that's fine. If you don't join them, there is no problem structurally. Okay, if you want to join them, it's very easy. You select them and go to merge areas, but it does not allow you to merge more than 2 areas together. So you have to do it 2 by 2. For example, if I select all these 3, it won't allow. It's a for merge, horizontal areas must be selected. So I select only 2 of them. So this is a rectangular opening. You can create any opening shape you want, but I have merged the 3 top areas, 3 bottom areas, but I am not sure if I can merge all of them together. There are some limitations in the software. Okay, if I try to merge this one and this one, I am not sure if the software allows me to do that. Yes, this says this is an opening. Okay, this cross says this is an opening. You can create any shape. For example, I am just randomly drawing lines. 1 line, 2 lines, and 3 lines. I am just randomly drawing a triangle. Select the area, select the lines, go to edit, mesh areas, cookie cut, press OK, and now you can create an opening. Okay, so you can create an opening of any shape you want. These days architects make some non-rectangular or some different shapes of opening. So you just need to draw the boundaries and create a cookie cut.
How can we make any option in that toolbar?
Okay, right here, if you have a right click on the top menu bar, then different options are here. What do you want? Merge areas. Merge areas. Merge areas should be not this one. View edit. Right here, merge areas. Right click, and I just switched on edit because merge areas is in edit. When you switch on edit, you get merge areas, you get mesh areas. Okay. Okay. Yes. Is there a question? If your atrium is in curve form or circular, then you can use the help of AutoCAD. Look, I said that you can import the grid lines from AutoCAD. So in the AutoCAD, you can draw the outline of the atrium with the help of lines, and when you import the grids from AutoCAD, it will bring those guidelines, those lines, and you can create the opening. Or you cannot draw a curved line here. If you want to draw something curved, you have to take help of some straight lines. But you know, it is difficult to accurately mark the positions. So you can use straight segments to create circular shape, and for that I select all the lines, I select the area, and I go to mesh areas, cookie cut, and that's how you do it. Select this and delete it, right? So the other areas now are in very different shape. You don't have to merge them. I mean, structurally there is no issue. It's just how it is visible. You can merge them 2 by 2. I mean, 2 together, and it will take long time. Okay. No, you can make it round from AutoCAD. Okay, you can draw the grids in AutoCAD and import the grids here. Then you can make it round. But again, that round will not be perfect round. That will be straight segments. So it's approximate. Okay, then the next option we want to cover, and I am switching off my second view right now. I just want to see one view. Okay, there is an option of moving the areas or lines. Edit, you select a line, go to edit, and right here, move points / lines / area. You want to move something from its position. So you can select that object, go to edit, and go to move. Select the move, and here it asks you delta x, delta y, and delta z. Delta x is what? Distance between the initial position and the final position. Right now our units are inches, so, and I have selected this line. I want to move this line from here to 60 inches away or 90 inches away, whatever. So I will plug 90 here, and if I want to move it up as well, I will put the delta y as well. So let me put delta x as 50 inches and delta y as say 80 inches. and see it moves. So you can play with this based on your need. You can select the objects and move anywhere in the model. Okay, you can sometimes even move the entire structure. Okay, that is sometime also needed. Okay, the next option which may be useful is split area edges. This is related to reshaper. I think you can either undo or go back there and plug negative values for delta and it should come back. No, it's not 0, 0. It is not ordinate. It is delta. For the global axis that was ordinate, but for this it is delta. Delta means difference between initial and the final. So plug minus 50 and minus 80 and it will come back. Okay, the next option which is also useful, that is reshape object. Reshape means that the object which is currently maybe in a rectangular shape, you want to change it to some other shape. So instead of plotting it again or modeling it again, you can reshape it. Okay, click on reshaper right here, reshape object, and again you will be in draw mode. Now select any area. Now you select this area and you will see these 4 pickup points, white points. These are pickup points. Okay, how many pickup points we have right now? We have 4. Okay, you can pick any point and reshape the slab, or you can also move it like this, but I am not moving it. I am just trying to reshape it. You see, you can reshape it according to your need. If you have some different kind of grid lines, you can reshape it. Okay, sorry, no, it won't be in curve, straight segment. Okay, you can use small straight segments to make curve. Now for example, you say, okay, these are only 4 pickup points, how can we make it more close to circular shape or something not trapezoidal, something in between circular and rectangular. To make it more close to circle, you need more pickup points. Okay, with 4 pickup points you can't make it close to circular or some different shape. So you can increase your pickup points. By default there are 4 pickup points for rectangular shape. For a triangular shape there would be 3. Every corner is a pickup point. So what you can do, you can select this slab, go to edit and go to split area edges. We are trying to increase the pickup points in order to reshape our slab. Okay, so select that slab, go to edit and say split area edges. What it will do, it will split the edges into more pickup points. But right now there are 2 pickup points at the edge, so it will add 1 more pickup point. And if you repeat it, it will again add 1 more pickup point between 2 pickup points. Just do this, and now again you reshape, select the reshape and click it, and now you will see you have an additional pickup point here, here, here and here. So you can use these pickup points to reshape it into more sophisticated shape. see that you can make it more close to a circular shape. It's not just about circle, it's about any other shape which is close to curve. Okay, so that's the option you can use. If you want to further enhance, further increase your pickup points, you can come out, select it, edit, again split area edges, and again pick up the select the reshaper, and you'll see you have more pickup points. So your shape will be more sophisticated because now you are having smaller segments. One segment is between the pickup points. Okay, we'll finish at 10:30. Oh, sorry, 11:30. I will give you 30 minutes break. Okay, what's next? Oh, runtime error, subscription out of range. I'm not sure about this version, but generally if you have runtime error, the software throws you out. You won't get a chance to come back and save your work. Let me try. Yes. So that's why you have to keep saving your work. Okay? Make it your second habit. It doesn't show me the history. Okay. Who's that guy? I want to see. Who is he? I want to see. You? No? Who will tell me? Is everything all right? Okay. Let me see if we can have one more option from view, and then I will go to select from edit, sorry. Okay, I will now jump to select menu. I am not coming to define menu right now. I will do define menu next time. Select menu. Select menu has several good options. You know, in simple structure, single story structure, selection may not be an issue. But when you are modeling, you say 10-story building and it has a large area, then selecting a particular thing is very difficult. Okay, so in that situation, this select menu helps you. Okay, for example, the more frequently used options are this one, for example, by frame section. When you click on frame section, it will open up the library of all the sections. Okay, say if you have used 10 different sections in your structure. Right now these are steel sections. Next time we shall define our concrete sections. So maybe you have used 10 different sections, but you want to pick only a particular section. So you can choose that section from here, and software will select only that section out of all the members you have. So this is targeted selection. This situation comes in when you want to replace certain section. For example, you say, okay, I have a beam which is 9 inches by 18 inches, and these beams are used at 10 different locations in my structure. I want to replace that one from another size, maybe 15 inches by 30 inches. So instead of going one by one and finding those beams, you come here and say, okay, select beams 9 by 18. It will select all of them, and you can simply replace them with another size. Okay. I'm not sure which one we have. Maybe this one. Okay, this was the section. I selected it, and you see all my beams are selected. Okay. Whatever section it is. So only, you see, only beams are selected because the section I selected was of beams, not of columns. And you have some of the columns may be of that section. I'm not sure why it has selected that one. Let me see. I think it has selected those columns which I drew in elevation, and I didn't choose the section. So these columns and the selected beams have same section, and those which I plotted in plan have a different section.
So in the plan you can also see that they have different sizes.
Yes.
Different material and different sizes.
Different sizes. Yes. These are smaller, and these are bigger. So these beams, all the beams and these columns are of same section, but these columns are different. That's why they are not selected. If you want to deselect, you can go to select and say deselect all, or right here clear selection. When you clear selection, and yes, note down, it always tells you 57 lines, 1 area and 4 edges are selected. 57 lines are actually beams and columns. 1 area may be some area I have already selected, which it's showing me. 1 area has 4 edges, so it's telling 1 area and its 4 edges are selected. So when you hit clear selection, everything is clear, no selection. You can also select, we did by frame section. You can also select by line object type. Type means beams, columns, okay, or any line element. So you can say that select all the beams. Now, irrespective of the section which you have used, all the beams will be selected. Okay. Now you will notice that the columns which were selected before are not selected, right? Because we have used our different options. It selects all the beams. Okay, so you want to work on beams. And this also takes me to view option. There is a good option in view that you can see selection only. If you have selected something and you only want to see that in your model, so you can select it and go to show selection only. Okay. Go show selection only. When you hit it, you will see only selected beams are visible and other things, slabs and columns are gone. Okay. Again, if you want to work on specific things, this option is helpful. And you can go back and say show all, and it will show you everything.
Can we use that in
Yes. Show all. Select area object type. Same as line, you can say, okay, I just want to see floor. Okay, only the slab. So it will, select the slab. So it selects all the slabs and says, okay, 80 areas are selected, 88 areas are selected. Actually, there are so many areas here. Every area is a single area. and you can go and view selection only, and you will see that only slabs are now visible. Okay, show all. Okay, you can also select something by making window, but there is a difference between the window you make from left to right and the window you make from right to left. Okay, window from left to right is different and window from right to left is different. Okay, if you are making a window from left to right, the member you want to select should be completely in this window. Okay, for example, if I do this, my member, the slab is not completely inside, then what happens? The area is not selected. Only those points are selected which were inside the window. Okay, so if I want to select it from left to right, entire slab has to be in the window, and now it will be selected. It will say one area, the area is selected, and there are other points and edges, of course it also tells. But if you make window from right to left, I will clear selection. If you make window from right to left, then if only part of the object is in the window, that object will be completely selected. Okay, look at this, area is selected. We can do the same with the beam. For example, this beam, if I make a window like this, okay, just a minute, let me switch off the slabs. I am switching off the floors right here. Okay, now look at my window. There is no beam which is completely in my window, although there are 3 beams which are partially in my window, but there is a column which is in my window. So if I do this, only the column will be selected, none of the beams will be selected. But if I do the same thing from right to left, all the 3 beams which are partially in the window and the columns will be selected. Okay, this beam is selected. This beam I had divided it into 3 portions, so only the relevant portion is selected. This one, 2 portions were in the window selected, or maybe 1 portion. So left window is different, right window is different. You can also select by story level, which story you want to select. There are 10 stories, you only want to select story number 5, select story number 5 and that will be selected. So selection and view may be used together. You can select all and everything will be selected. Everything is selected. The areas were not in the view, but still they are selected. And there is another very good option, which is invert selection. I am clearing the selection. What is invert selection? Look, if I select this slab, I have selected this slab, and this beam, and this beam, and this line. I have selected 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I have selected 3 lines and 1 area. So when I go to select and say invert, what it does? It selects everything else, but not the lines which, or not the areas which I had already selected. Okay, it is inverting the selection. So if you want to select everything but not few things, then you select those few things and invert the selection. Other things will be selected, and those which you already selected will be deselected. Okay. Okay, we stop here today. And yes, you can also get to previous selection. In case you selected last time something, you want to select the same thing again, the option is get previous selection. When I hit previous selection, what happens? It selects the 3 lines and the areas which I selected before. Next time we shall do the define menu and assign menu, and maybe we analyze our structure. Next time our lecture is on Monday. Okay, so when you come on Monday, you have to bring your laptops. Okay? Okay, thank you very much.